What a beautiful evening in New York City. And at the Shed at Hudson Yards, the fans filing in for a star-studded night, ready to watch 38 young women have their professional dreams come true, including that young woman, Paige Bueckers, the presumptive #1 overall pick. How about Kiki Iriafen after a great season with USC? Dominique Malonga taking her talents to the States from France, and Haley Van Lith, fresh off, bringing a third collegiate program to the Elite Eight. All of these women ready to shine on center stage this evening. One player who knows what it's like to be in their shoes, the legend, Diana Taurasi, tips off our evening.
For 28 years, legends have built this league. And now it's your turn to step into the moments that will define your life. Every sprint, every tear, and every buzzer beat has led you to this night.
With the first pick, with the fourth
And when your name is called, the game you love will become your profession.
I've dreamed of this moment since I was in 2nd grade.
What will you do with this opportunity? Lift a trophy? Build a dynasty?
It feels good, baby!
Leave a legacy? Tonight, you join a community of exceptional athletes and passionate fans. It's your turn to show them what you can do.
Oh my goodness!
Bueckers, you bet!
And put your own signature on the WNBA.
We welcome you to the WNBA Draft 2025, presented by State Farm. Here at the Shed at Hudson Yards, the fans all filed in, the stars are out. Paige Bueckers getting ready, Isaiah James in the building. How about Anissa Morrow? And you know what, Sanaya Rivers? You are correct. The WNBA been popping. That's right, Sanaya. Taking a look at the headlines for this 2025 WNBA Draft. Of course, Paige Bueckers, fresh off a championship, projected to be the first pick to Dallas. How about the Washington Mystics? They have 3 of the first 6 selections tonight. We have a brand new franchise, the Golden State Valkyries, who will pick 5th this evening. And later on, Gina Auriemma will join the set fresh off a 12th national championship. You see the crowd all anticipating the start of this one as we welcome you to our set. Hey everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo, the former Lady Vol, Andrea Carter. So happy to be with you for the WNBA Draft 2025. We know we're coming off an incredible NCAA season after an outstanding WNBA season. The momentum just keeps rolling for women's hoop.
Ryan, we've had elite level play on the court in the WNBA for almost 3 decades now, but the explosion in the popularity has changed over the course of the last year and a half. And now we're adding to both of those things. Not only the elite level play on the court, but we're adding some elite level superstars as well. One way to look at that, one gauge is Instagram followers. And you look, Paige Bueckers, the presumed #1 pick in this draft already. When you look at the most popular players in the WNBA, 3rd most Instagram followers.
Ryan, I love the word that you used in momentum, right? And what I'm excited about is for the momentum to continue to get faster and faster and faster. When we think about being here a year ago, we had a live audience. This year, the live audience is bigger, and I expect the live audience to be even louder. And then when you think about the records that were broken, there they are. There they are. They'll be even louder than that once names get picked. Think about the records that were broken last season, statistically on the court, in attendance when it comes to arenas, and at home in viewership. I hope we continue to build momentum on all of those things.
Now, we know last year we had a historic draft class. It feels like, Drea, here in 2025, we have another really strong draft class.
Well, 100%. When you look at this draft class, even the women that are here and the women that are not here, I see a ton of potential when it comes to fitting with a team, and there are so many teams that have room on their rosters. 4 teams have 9 of the first 12 picks in the first round, and they have room. The door is wide open. It's not cracked. The door is wide open for these talented players to have impactful minutes and make an impact at the professional level.
Simply put, this is a good year to get drafted because there are so many opportunities, especially in the first round. In the last decade, we've been talking about the 144 and how hard it is to make a roster. The addition of Golden State Valkyries, now we're at 156.
All right. Well, someone who's definitely going to have one of those 156 slots is Paige Bueckers. For a little more on Paige, let's send things over to another Hall of Famer. Here is Holly Rowe.
Well, Ryan, there are so many women whose dreams will come true tonight, but for Paige Bueckers, she had a very clear vision when she was just a little girl. She wrote this report at 5 years old. I'm Paige, and I like to basketball. It's so unique that that vision has become an adult reality for her. Her childhood became a thing of legends in Hopkins, Minnesota, where she became a schoolgirl legend. Then she got to UConn, and things became challenging. She only played 17 games in 2 years after injuries rocked her world, but this young woman was resilient. Gina Auriemma says she had the most unique journey of anyone I've ever coached. Paige has stayed true, and she is celebrating a national championship. She celebrated with a few of her thousands of friends in the Connecticut parade just yesterday, and now here she is. That 5-year-old little girl will hear her name called tonight. Couldn't be anything better than what we're experiencing in this moment for the WNBA.
What this night is all about, Holly, no doubt about it. Time to officially get this evening started. To do that, we send things to the podium to the commissioner of the WNBA, Kathy Engelberg.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 WNBA Draft presented by State Farm. This is truly one of my favorite nights of the year, a night where we get to witness dreams come true. To all the incredible draft prospects right in front of me, congratulations. You've worked so hard to reach this moment, and tonight marks the beginning of an exciting new chapter of your careers. The momentum for the WNBA has never been greater. We are coming off a record-breaking season with unprecedented viewership, attendance, and fan engagement. Our game continues its pattern of hypergrowth with an expanding impact. As the league continues to rise, there are more opportunities than ever for younger players. The WNBA is bigger and better with the addition of our 13th team, the Golden State Valkyries, entering their first draft tonight. The players being drafted are stepping into a league where the level of competition is elite and the talent and skill across the league continues to set new standards. We can't wait to see how each of you will leave your mark on the W. The WNBA has long been a source of inspiration for fans worldwide, and we are grateful to our broadcast, media, and corporate partners who have helped us raise the game. As the longest-running women's professional sports league in the United States, we take seriously our responsibility to elevate the game and continue pushing women's sports forward. And what a historic journey it has been the past few years. So to the prospects, enjoy this moment. To our teams, get ready to welcome the next wave of players. And to everyone watching, thank you for being part of this unforgettable night. Now let's get started. The Dallas Wings, you are on the clock.
All right, here we go. The Dallas Wings on the clock. Taking a look at their timeline over the last 2 seasons. 2023 made the semifinals. Last year struggled. Changes at general manager and head coach with Kurt Miller and Chris Koklanis. And key departures of some big-time players, Satu Sabali, Natasha Howard, J.C. Sheldon. You see some key additions with Nalissa Smith, Dejanay Carrington, and then Ty Harris. All right, Rebecca, you look at this Dallas Wings team. We obviously know who the presumptive #1 pick is, but what kind of thoughts do you have with the Wings in this spot?
Well, it just lines up perfectly for the Dallas Wings. This is a franchise that is not only looking for a point guard this year, but it's a franchise that's been looking for a point guard since Skylar Diggins-Smith last year there in 2018. Certainly, Paige Bueckers is the type of player who can be an all-star in her rookie year, could be one of the top 10 players in the league in her rookie year, but not only that, fills a need that Dallas has had for quite a number of years now.
And you mentioned Chris Koklanis in his first season with Dallas. One thing he said in his introductory press conference was he wants to put people around Arike to establish a trust and togetherness offensively. Paige is the piece that can do that. I don't want to get too in the weeds here because we are in draft night, but Arike Agumbawale led the league in unassisted field goal attempts last season. She had so much work on her shoulders offensively. She will no longer have that with Paige by her side.
She also seemed very excited about Dallas winning the lottery.
Right. Right, exactly, because of all those unassisted field goal attempts.
Right, fell to my knees, thank you, Lord, and then managed to actually root for UConn during the NCAA tournament, which we know is sacrilege for a former member of Notre Dame. So that's what Paige Bueckers has inspired from Enrique. We are about to find out who the #1 pick of this draft is. Let's go back to the podium now to the commissioner, Kathy Engelbert.
With the first pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Paige Bueckers, University of Connecticut.
Paige getting big hugs from mom and dad, from her teammate AZ Fudd, from her coach Gino Auriemma, and Paige Bueckers' teammates all here taking it in. She is officially the #1 pick of the 2025 WNBA draft.
And you saw her give Coach Auriemma a hug. And at the beginning of this season, Gino Auriemma said Paige Bueckers was the most unguardable player in America. Why is that? Well, she can drain shots from deep. She can get to any spot on the floor where she wants to go. And she has been one of the most efficient players we have seen in the history of women's college basketball over the course of her career. A 50, 40, 85 player. Just can facilitate for her teammates and score at will.
The only player in the last 25 seasons to average 15 points a game, and those field goal percentages, the efficiency. To me, one thing we always say in sports, in any sport, it doesn't matter what it is that great players are force multipliers. They ignite this energy and confidence in the teammates around them. Paige Bueckers does that.
You know, she's also a watch party multiplier as well. Look at this reaction in Arlington, Texas. They are fired up. Paige Bueckers is a member of the Dallas Wings, and she is with Holly Rowe.
Well, Paige, it's one thing to want this as a little kid. It's maybe a different thing to know maybe it's going to be you at #1, but when you hear your name called #1 in the WNBA draft, what's racing through your mind right now?
Just an overwhelming sense of gratitude. It's super surreal just being here with other draft invitees. My teammates are here, my family's here. Just super grateful. I've been focusing on staying present, staying where my feet are, and to be here right now, I'm just extremely blessed.
You're just like touching your heart, like this is real. This really happened. That young woman that has worked so hard. You haven't had everything easy. Tell me how you fought through the hardest times to still be here, standing here against all odds.
Through my faith, through God's purpose, through my teammates, my family, the coaching staff, the strength and conditioning staff. Everybody's invested a lot in me, and part of me wanting to give back to them is show that I can be better, and all that their hard work helped me get to this stage. So I didn't do it alone. It took a village, so I'm extremely grateful for them.
I absolutely love that your village is on their feet. All of your UConn players were here giving you the standing ovation when your name is called. In an era when this could be all about you and you could be such a big star, you are constantly pouring into your teammates and making sure they get the recognition. How important has this group of women been for you?
They've changed my life. Those are my sisters. Just extremely grateful for them. I think 2 teams or 1 team would be genius to add Caitlin Chen and Aubrey Griffin to their team, so I think they should get drafted tonight. But I just love them so much, and they're going to be my sisters for life.
All right, you saw the watch party. What do you say to Dallas? You're coming there. They seem excited.
Yeah, before I was asked about Tex-Mex versus barbecue, I was unfamiliar with the term Tex-Mex, so that's my pick. But Dallas, I'm so excited. Just a new city, a new start, a fresh start, and so I'm excited. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Thank you, Paige.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to Paige Bueckers. Soon enough, she'll be able to enjoy that Tex-Mex with a celebratory draft room in Dallas. Yeah, Kurt Miller and the whole crew fired up. Paige Bueckers, officially the #1 pick of the 2025 WNBA draft here in New York.
The WNBA Draft 2025 is presented by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And in part by Ally, proud banking partner of the WNBA.
Well, Paige Bueckers moments ago, hearing her name called as the first pick of the 2025 draft. Mom with tears in her eyes as the Bueckers family celebrates this historic evening. Paige Bueckers, now a member of the Dallas Wings and a member of the WNBA. Paige joining a long list of UConn greats to be drafted number 1 overall. That list, of course, includes Diana Taurasi, from college to the pros to international competition. Taurasi has one stacked trophy room. Now Rebecca takes us on a journey through the GOAT's stellar career.
Diana Taurasi was drafted number 1 in 2004, headed to a Phoenix Mercury team in need of an identity. 3 WNBA titles, 6 Olympic gold medals, and 6 EuroLeague championships later, Diana is the WNBA's all-time leading scorer.
Diana's done it! The league's first 10,000 points scored.
D changed the game for everyone.
It's the game that I played since I was 7. It's all the things I love to do, and that was to play the game of basketball.
Well, Diana Taurasi, I don't know if anyone's catching those 6 gold medals, that's for sure. We're going to miss Dee on the floor. Her histrionics, her play, her flair for the dramatic. Rebecca, when you think about this legend, how do you put into context what she's meant to the game?
Well, first, it's her greatness, but second, it's her longevity. I mean, her draft class was 21 years ago. I worked that draft. You were a toddler. It's remarkable what she was able to do and the standard that she set as the GOAT. Until we have another player win 3 national championships, win 3 WNBA champions, win 6 gold medals, and become the all-time leading scorer, you have to consider Diana Taurasi the GOAT of the WNBA.
And just the longevity that Diana Taurasi was great. She was great for so long, and she also poured in to rookies. She poured into the young Olympians that were on those Olympic teams. She loved this game so much. She also brought them into the league by giving them some trash talk and giving them a hard time. My favorite thing about DT, the way that she played on the court, the stats, the shots, all of that is great. But you mentioned the flair for the dramatics, the way she was truly herself, unapologetically herself, to put on a show night in and night out for that long. I'm not calling her old, but she is. She is absolutely incredible. Veteran.
I'm sure she's coming to a microphone near you sometime soon. Meanwhile, the Seattle Storm now on the clock with the number 2 overall pick. Now, why do they have this pick? They have this pick because of this huge trade in the W between LA, Vegas, and Seattle. LA getting Kelsey Plum, some draft stock. Vegas, Jewel Lloyd, and the 13th pick. And then Seattle, Lee Yarou, the 2nd pick of this draft. And then a first rounder next year. How about Dominique Malonga and her talent perhaps fitting here at number 2?
Well, what's really interesting with this pick in Seattle is their need lies in the backcourt. They've lost Jewel Lloyd. That's if you're picking based on need, right, that's where they would go. And that was an interesting thing because the assumption as of 2 weeks ago was that they were going to take Olivia Miles, and then Olivia Miles chooses to go back and play another year in college. And so we've had a number of players impact this draft in that way. One of them is here tonight. Azzi Fudd here supporting Paige Bueckers. But all of these 5 young women, if they had come out in this year's draft, would have gone in the first round. So their lack of being here is impacting it. But as a result, Dominique Malonga is the player that everyone is looking to as a potential generational talent with what she can do. And even if she doesn't fit necessarily in Seattle, she's a player who can fit anywhere.
Well, that's the thing. It's tricky for me. Even when I think about if Olivia Miles would have stayed in the draft, I think Seattle would have still been like, because of what Dominique Malonga has the potential to be, an absolute matchup nightmare. Her size, her mobility, the athleticism, she is truly one of the best available. I think it would be hard to pass her up either way.
All right, let's find out who the number 2 pick is in this 2025 WNBA draft. Back to the podium to Kathy Engelberg.
With the 2nd pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Seattle Storm select Dominique Malonga from France.
Well, Dominique Malonga, 6'6", with incredible skill. Cannot wait to see her talent here in the WNBA. And she goes to a proud, historic franchise in Seattle that has a legacy of success.
Yeah, Seattle certainly knows how to cheer on great players and support greatness, and Dominique Malonga has the potential to be one of the greatest with what she is starting with. Think of her floor, 6'6", athletic, versatile. She can dunk effortlessly, and when you think about her adding strength, adding power, adding explosiveness, she, to me, has the highest ceiling of these draft picks because of what she is able to become. An absolute matchup nightmare. Seattle got a good one.
And I'm just going to tell people at home who have not watched highlights of this young woman play, sit back, take a breath, and enjoy what you are about to see in this highlight package. And she is 6'6" and long and plays so well in space. She can come off flare screens and drain threes. Drea, you mentioned that she can dunk the basketball. She can drive from the high post and score. You see a little turnaround fadeaway on one leg. This young woman has guard skills, incredible length. You see her facing up as well. Her best days are ahead of her. She can be a menace on the defensive end as well. But Seattle, you are getting a good one.
She's played professionally over in France, averaged a double-double this past season. She played in the Olympics, represented Team France alongside Gabby Williams, who's also in Seattle. So there are a lot of connective pieces for Malonga here.
She cannot buy herself legally a glass of wine in Seattle. This is a young woman who has an incredibly high ceiling.
And you can understand why that draft room is so excited to have her. And Dominique is with Holly.
I think the drinking age is younger in Europe. I'm not sure on that, but I think it's going to be okay, Rebecca. Congratulations, felicitation. You are just the 5th player from France to be selected in the first round of the WNBA. What does that mean to you to represent your country and yourself and your family who are here tonight?
Thank you so much. It's amazing to me because I come for a long journey. My family is here. They're witnesses for all the work that I put in to be here today. And I'm so happy to represent France, but not only France, Cameroon, Congo. You can see the flag on my table. I'm a multicultural person. I have a lot of people behind me, and I'm so proud to be here and to represent all of them. Shout out to my club, Lyon, my former club, Tarbes in France, French national team, and all the person that support me from today.
I was lucky. I got to see you play in Paris at the Olympics for the French national team. You were the youngest player on that team. At 19 years old, how will you transition to the WNBA well?
I mean, I will work very hard to fit in this league because I know that it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard, but I'm ready to work.
Félicitations. Bienvenue à la WNBA.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Oh, congratulations to Dominique. Also getting Holly to flex her French here in the first round. Meanwhile, Washington about to be on the clock with the number 3 overall pick. Elena Delle Donne, the legend, just recently announcing her retirement. A 2-time MVP, was the 2nd pick back in the 2013 draft, a 7-time All-Star. She is the only 50, 40, 90 player we have ever had in the WNBA, something maybe Paige Bueckers challenges at some point, tonight's number 1 overall pick. But this is one of the all-time greats. And you watch Elena Delle Donne play, and it was hard not to just be amazed by her ability.
Versatility, when you think about a player that shows versatility, her size, her skill. We just talked about Dominique Malonga, right? Obviously at 6'6". Elena Delle Donne, not exactly 6'6", but versatility, guard skills, her size. Elena Delle Donne really gave a great example of now what we're seeing from so many players.
And you bring up the efficiency with Paige Bueckers because she is probably the best chance we have to be the next 50, 40, 90 player in the WNBA. And to see that from a 6'4" talent like Elena Delle Donne, we're going to miss watching her play.
All right, so from one Mystics legend to now this new era for the Mystics where they're going to have 3 of the first 6 picks. Last year, lost their first 12 games, played better at the end. They've made changes at general manager, head coach heading into this season. And yeah, they have pick 3, pick 4, pick 6 as we set the table here for this first of their 3 picks, number 3 overall. What are you looking at, Rebecca? Because now things get quite interesting in this first round.
Well, it's interesting that you use the phrase set the table, because a GM told me the Mystics are setting the table for the rest of the first round because they have 3 of the next 4 picks. And what's really interesting, when you're trying to look at what their proposed starting lineup is going to be, those 3 are easy, and then you don't know who their guards are going to be. You want to be selected by the Washington Mystics early in this draft, because not only you have a great chance to make the team, there's a couple starting spots available.
Yeah. All right, well, the pick is in. Time to find out who Washington will take with the 3rd overall pick. Back to the podium to the commissioner, Cathy Engelbert.
With the 3rd pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Washington Mystics select Sonia Citron, University of Notre Dame.
Drea, I know talking to you earlier, you felt like Sonia Citron could absolutely be the fit for Washington at 3rd overall.
Well, when you talk about a player that Washington just lost to Chicago in Ariel Atkins, what is Ariel Atkins? A 3-and-D type of player, a two-way threat. That is Sonia Citron. Sonia Citron is an all-around player. She affects every area of the game. It's not just her points, it's her defensive activity, it's her ability to guard multiple positions on that end of the floor, her decision-making, her high basketball IQ for a young Washington team. And I know Sonia Citron is a rookie, but she plays the game so smart.
I mean, this is a young woman who is 6'1". She brings size, length, is a sneaky good defender, range out to 3. She's able to make big shots. We saw that one in her game against NC State earlier this year. She's really good baseline cuts, getting to the rim. She reminds me kind of a Rebecca Allen type player, that size, who can make threes, who can defend you as well. Another player who has a really strong upside for Washington.
And whose draft stock just skyrocketed this season from not too far away in Westchester. Sonia Citron is with Holly Rowe.
Well, she is the pride of Eastchester and Westchester. You're a New York girl. What is it like for you to have this moment not far from where you grew up playing basketball?
Yeah, I mean, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I think what makes it so special is that I get to do it in front of my friends and family since I am from here. So, I mean, I wouldn't be here without them. So, I mean, I'm just happy I get to share this moment with them.
William, Yolanda, your boyfriend Maris is here. For the record, you got drafted higher than he did in the NFL, so shout out to the girls. I know they've all poured into you and made you such a special player. What are you grateful for?
Yeah, I mean, just grateful for all their support, all the time that they invested into me. I mean, my family, my friends, my coaches, they believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, and again, I wouldn't be here without them. So.
Okay, very quick. Coach Ivy, these are the words she said about you. Glue, poise, scoring threat, all 3 levels, jack of all trades, best on-ball defender. And that is a team that included Hannah Hidalgo. You really can do everything. How can you do that in the W?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep working hard, keep trying to get better. And, I mean, I have amazing women to learn from in the league. But, yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep trying to play both sides of the ball and just be myself.
Great off the ball, too. You're going to be great. Thank you
so much.
Congratulations to Sonia, and for those interested in New York geography, Eastchester is in Westchester. Taking a look at the best available prospects now at pick 4 for Washington. There's a lot of talent there to choose from here with this next pick.
Well, this is why when I've talked to some GMs and head coaches, I've been told that they have a backup plan for their backup plan's backup plan, because no one knows where Washington is going to go with their picks. If they talk about a player that has a high ceiling in Kiki Iriafen with her versatility, she's had some comparisons to Asia Wilson, or the relentlessness of Anissa Morrow, the true point guard skills of Georgia Amore. What does Washington prioritize here?
Or the scoring of Isaiah James. Right. You know, there's multiple ways they can go, and that's good because they have 2 of the next 3 picks.
Well, we're going to find out who that second first-rounder for Washington is. The 4th overall pick is in. Right back to the podium comes the commissioner, Cathy Engelbert.
With the 4th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Washington Mystics select Okikiola Iriafen, University of Southern California.
Well, there you go. Kiki Iriafen goes 4th overall. So you get the versatile guard. Now you get the versatile post. Lindsay Gottlieb, her coach, soaking it all in. And one thing we've seen from Kiki as well, she has had some of her best performances on the biggest stage. You think about 41 in the second round last year, 36 in the Sweet 16 this year. This is a really talented player.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, she's got great size, build for her position. She's an exciting athlete. She improved tremendously, Ryan, over the course of her college career, first at Stanford and then at USC. She's a really good rim runner, is terrific in space, facing the basket, has a shot out to 17 feet, can drive and finish inside, and we've seen her also dabble at times, stepping outside the three-point line. A really good free throw shooter, so you expect her to have the potential to add the 3 to her game at the pro level.
So Sonia Citron goes 3rd, Kiki goes 4th, and she is with Holly Rowe.
You said you're so excited. You have no words right now, but I hope you have some for us. This journey, you told me a little earlier, has not been exactly what you envisioned. What are you proud of the way you've handled the journey and the ups and downs that have come with it?
I've just been resilient. There's been a lot in my last season, and I just trusted the process. I'm a woman of faith, so I just trust in God. I was very prayerful, and so I'm getting a little nervous. Okay, that's okay. But I'm just super grateful to be here, and I give all the glory to God.
You really did have to reinvent yourself at times throughout your college career, and at every moment you've been able to shine. I know you're shining brighter than ever. You wanted to talk about your dress tonight. We don't always do that with everyone, but it was important to you, right?
Yes, I wanted to look good. I wanted to feel good. This dress was designed by a Nigerian designer, Nneka Alexander. And I just want to show off my culture on this big stage.
I know your family's in the audience, and they are also showing off their beautiful culture as well. What do you say to your mom and your dad? I know your grandparents are in Nigeria. I'm not sure if they're staying up this late to watch or getting up this early, but what do you say to your family?
Thank you. I wouldn't be here without them. My parents sacrificed so much for me, my village, my coaches, just everybody in my circle. So I'm just super grateful, and this is for them, truly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to Kiki Iriafen going number 4 overall. The Golden State Valkyries about to make their first pick in franchise history.
The WNBA is expanding.
This is the moment we've been waiting for.
The new WNBA team has a name, the Golden State Valkyries.
It's a nod to women warriors who are known for their strength in numbers.
The Golden State Valkyries have named Natalie Nakase as their head coach.
I'm going to pour all my energy and my heart and my soul into this organization. I just can't wait to build a championship team.
The Golden State Valkyries select Ileana Rupert,
Julie Van Loo, Kate Morton.
Well, here is Chase Center. The Golden State Valkyries getting ready for their first ever draft pick. What a rollout this franchise has had. First of all, I mean, the uniforms are gorgeous, but we have just seen so many resources go behind what this franchise is doing. And now, Drea, what should they be considering with the number 5 overall pick?
Well, it's so tricky because they are starting the foundation of their team. And like we've said, they could go in so many different directions. To me, an electrifying guard that fans are just going to love to watch and be mesmerized with the ball. And I'm a little biased from the guard position, but truly, when we think about some of the guards, we've talked about Georgia Amore. She is so fun to watch, plays with so much joy. Isaiah James, those type of players that fans just fall in love with. When you're starting a franchise, to me, that is a great piece to start with.
Yeah, and certainly when you look at this team and what they have on the roster right now, you're thinking they need depth at the 5, depth at the 1. And if they decided to go to a player like Georgia Amore, she could be their starting point guard who, as you put it, can be electrifying for the fans and help you win some games.
All right, here we go. History about to happen. The Golden State Valkyries' first ever pick is about to be announced by the commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, back at the podium for pick number 5.
With the 5th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Golden State Valkyries select Juste Jochite from Lithuania.
So a little bit of a surprise, but Drea, here's a southpaw shooter who you watch her on film, and wow, is she talented.
Well, one thing we didn't talk about with this Golden State Valkyries team is how they are heavy on international players. Yuste is a dynamic, electrifying guard. She is a lefty. She can get into the paint. The way that she scores, the poise that she plays with, similar to Dominique Malonga in starting her professional career young. She has pro experience coming over, going to play for the Valkyries. Again, a fan or a player that fans will be excited to watch because of the way she is with the ball in her hands.
Yeah, it's good size at 6 feet tall. She navigates the pick and roll well. She can drive to the basket, facilitate either way. But it really is interesting, the breadth of the international flavor that they have on this Valkyries roster.
Yeah, it's interesting because one of the things you think about with a team like the Valkyries is how they might be able to supplement their roster after next season. We know that the vast majority of this league is going to be a free agent at the end of 2025. Players strategically lining up their deals for a new collective bargaining agreement. 105 of the 132 players in this league will be free agents following the 2025 season. Only 2 players not on rookie contracts that will be free agents. And that's one of the ways the Valkyries will be able to build their roster after next year to add to what they're doing culturally.
Which is what's really interesting to me when you look at Golden State, because realistically, this is not a team that's contending for a championship this year. Certainly not. This is probably not a team that is contending for a playoff spot. So they will most likely find themselves in the draft lottery next year and has a ton of cap space where they can go out and potentially afford 3 of the top level free agents. And, you know, with all of the things that they have to show those players as they come in as opponents this year, it could be a really interesting place to want to go.
That's exactly what I'm thinking, right? You talk about the facility that they have in place already, the tickets that they're selling out of for their arena, and also the synergy that they have between the Golden State Warriors. We've seen Golden State Warriors head coach Steve Kerr, Stephen Curry wear Golden State Valkyries gear. So it seems to be a city that is very bought into this new team.
It's also because they have the best looking uniforms and gear in all of the WNBA.
It is outstanding. Meanwhile, we've seen 2 picks already this round from Washington, and now the 6th overall pick. Washington's 3rd pick of the first round is in. To get it, we go back to the podium. Kathy Engelbert has pick number 6.
With the 6th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Washington Mystics select Georgia A. Moore, University of Kentucky.
You see Russell Westbrook applauding. He styled Georgia A. Moore tonight, the first NBA player to ever outfit a WNBA draftee. And Georgia is going to Washington with the 6th overall pick. This is one of the most electrifying players in the country. We saw her take Virginia Tech to a Final Four a couple of years ago, follow Coach Kenny Brooks to Kentucky, and really perform in the SEC this year.
And that was one of the biggest things, the way that Georgia A. Moore elevated and expanded her game this past season at Kentucky in the SEC. One thing that Washington wants to do is play fast, and Georgia A. Moore is incredible at playing fast, but also playing under control. She has such a great ability to manipulate the defense. She doesn't just react to the defense, she makes the defense shift where she wants them to, and she can find her teammates. She creates her own shot. The way that she creates space with the ball in her hands, to me, she is going to be an excellent pro. It's a great pick for Washington.
Yeah, I mean, the knock on her is that she's only 5'6", but she was able to get her shots off against some of the bigger defenders in the SEC this year, had career highs in points per game, assists per game, field goal percentage as well. And you see the Washington Mystics draft room, and you look at the 3 picks that they took already here in the first round, all 3 of those players could potentially start for the Washington Mystics this season.
Gonna make it exciting, and Georgia is with Holly.
Well, Georgia, this is such an exciting moment for you. Your family is here. Phil, Kelly, your parents. Ballarat, Australia is a long way away. How did this journey start for you to be standing on this stage tonight?
Yeah, well, first of all, congrats to Sony and Kiki. I've always said I want to play with Sony, and I love Kiki deep down to the core, so I'm excited to be with them. I'm excited to be with the Mystics. But Ballarat, man, that's a long way away. But I've taken every opportunity that's opened up, made the most of it, and now I'm here.
Okay, I have to say this one for the shorties because I've never been taller than a draft pick. I'm so excited right now. But you are literally I'm in heels, let's be fair. But you are an athlete. I think people get caught up in size instead of your skill. You played cricket, netball, taekwondo, Australian rules football. You are a competitor at the highest level. How can you bring that to the league?
Yeah, I think just for as long as people have called me too short, I've been working on how to counteract that. You know, it's not a shock to me. I know that I have to work in different ways, use my brain a little bit more, but with my competitive background, I think I have a little bit of that dog in me that's going to keep me fighting.
Best step back ever. How did you develop that move? Like literally you gain space.
Yeah, these quads and Coach Brooks.
All right, thanks for showing them off, Russell Westbrook. Good job showing off the quads. Thank you,
Holly.
Terrific stuff, Holly, and love that shot of Georgia's sister. Meanwhile, the Connecticut Sun are now on the clock. Wow, it is a very different Connecticut Sun team. You take a look at their starting lineup from Game 5 of the semifinals this past season. Guess what? They're all gone. First team in WNBA history to lose all 5 starters from a previous final playoff game. This is a Connecticut Sun team that has been a perennial contender over the last half decade plus, but it's a different day in Connecticut, and it starts with this draft.
Yeah, but they don't want to call this a rebuild for them. They're looking at it more as a reset. And when you look at the pieces that they have been able to sign, yes, they lost that group that brought them to the playoffs and the finals all those years. This is their potential starting lineup. This is a solid group. And yes, they do need to get some quality picks, which they will. And these are 2 picks that have a great opportunity to not only make the roster, but get playing time as well. But this is a solid group that I think is able to contend for a playoff spot this coming season.
You know, it's fascinating when we think about the Connecticut Sun. They have had this personality for the last 10 years of this toughness and the defense, and they're gonna beat up on you and make the game so tough and so physical. No matter who their coach was, the personality stayed the same because of the players on the floor. Now they have a new coach. They're getting new players on the floor. This is a turning point for Connecticut to still have success, but maybe it looks a little different than we've ever seen.
All right, let's see who is headed to Mohegan. We find out right now from Kathy Engelbert, back to the podium with the 7th pick of this year's draft.
With the 7th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Connecticut Sun select Anissa Morrow, Louisiana State University.
Well, Kim Mulkey applauding as Anissa celebrates after going 7 overall to the Connecticut Sun. And it's funny, Dre, you talk about the personality of the Connecticut Sun, and Anissa Morrow really fits into that mold of that tough grinder. Just an incredible collegiate career.
Well, when you think about drafting players, right, and when you think about a team that is starting new, you want to bank on the things you can count on, and you want to bank on what you know. And what does Connecticut know? They have a player that is going to work relentlessly. Undersized, maybe, but it has never mattered in her career. You know what to expect with Anissa Morrow. And even though opponents know what to expect from Anissa Morrow, they have not had an answer throughout her career. She is such a hard worker, skilled, can finish around the rim, works on the defensive end, can put the ball on the floor. She can also have potential to expand her game out to the three-point line, which will make her even more of a dynamic pro.
I'm really fascinated by Anissa Morrow in her game. She averaged just under 19 points a game this past season, 13.5 rebounds per game, led the nation in that, 5 offensive rebounds per game. This is a young woman who was only 6'1", but found a way to do it even against teams that had pro length. She has been incredible in her production throughout her career.
Second most double-doubles in D1 history, only Courtney Paris with more, and Anissa is with Holly Rowe.
Anissa, they say iron sharpens iron. And I look at the table that you're sitting at. Your parents were great athletes at Nebraska. Even your grandma Julia played basketball. How has this family poured into you to make you the athlete and competitor that you are?
Yes. They challenge me every day to work as hard as I possibly can. Growing up on the south side of Chicago was hard. And just continuing to push and thrive to be the best person that I possibly could be. Try to set that example for those behind me that's looking up, and they want to be able to accomplish what I have, and I feel like I've done a great job with that.
Your coach, Kim Mulkey, said something to me this year. that was really interesting. She said, Anissa is not hungry, she's starving. Your work ethic is unparalleled. What can you be in the WNBA?
I feel like I could go in there and try to be unstoppable. I want to go up in there and work as hard as I possibly can and come in there as confident as I possibly can as well. And just learn from my bets. Be a sponge and learn as much as I can.
You've shown that you can do that all along the way. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Something else Kim Mulkey told us, the lights are always on for Anissa Morrow, the way she practices day in, day out. And at Mohegan Sun, they are fired up to have Anissa Morrow join their franchise. Connecticut with another pick coming up in just a moment. But hey, catch the 2025 rookies in action with WNBA League Pass, where you could stream 200+ live games this season for only $34.99 per year. It's a layup. Scan the QR code to subscribe today. Students get 40% off. Who is going to join Anissa in Connecticut with the 8th overall pick? We get to find out right now. Kathy Engelbert back to the podium with that selection.
With the 8th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Connecticut Sun select Sanaya Rivers from NC State.
We've seen Sanaya Rivers help lead NC State on deep tournament runs, including the Final Four a season ago. A very athletic, talented lead guard, coached by Wes Moore at NC State, here to take in this moment. And now Sanaya headed to Connecticut to join Anissa Morrow.
Sanaya Rivers, a 6'1" long guard, and you mentioned she played lead guard for NC State, but she will most likely fill the wing position in the WNBA and can do so much from there as an elite level athlete. So good off the bounce, can get to the rim smoothly, has the mid-range pull-up. Will need to expand her range out to 3 a little bit, but I know the Connecticut Sun and Morgan Tuck are thrilled because these are the two players they were hoping were going to be available at their picks in Morrow and Rivers.
And what was said in the introductory press conference for the Connecticut Sun was that they wanted to share the ball, have ball movement, and have a conquering defense. And I know we're talking offense here, but there were only 3 players in D1 this past season with 100 assists, 50 steals, and 40 blocks. Juju Watkins, Sarah Strong, and Sanaya Rivers. Her ability to impact the game on both ends of the floor with athletic plays like that. She is shifty, she is long, she's got great length. Her presence on both ends gives a lot of speed and energy to this Connecticut Sun team.
Sanaya is with Holly.
Well, Sanaya, you wanted to talk about your family tonight. Both of your parents played, Jimmy and Dee. Tell me what you want to say about your family.
I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. Man, I came from riches, but I came from a family of love. And just the fact that they're here supporting me, they're all in the stands, it just means the world to me. They've sacrificed a lot to get me here, so I'm more than grateful.
Shout out Wilmington, right?
Shout out Wilmington.
Tell me a little bit. Every time I watch you play, I feel like you unlock something else. You've just begun to scratch the surface of what you can be. What can you be?
I think I can be great in this league. I think I just need confidence. I think I need to be surrounded around a great team, great coaching staff. I feel like I'm versatile. I feel like I can bring whatever I need to a team, whatever they need, defensive end, offensive end. Yeah, I'm just ready to be able to be a sponge and grasp whatever I can from my vets.
Can't wait to watch you play. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations to Sanaya Rivers. Now the LA Sparks are on the clock after a busy offseason. They'll pick 9th overall. How about the headlines for this past WNBA season heading into this one? 2024, the most watched WNBA finals since 1999. This year, we get a best of 7 2025 WNBA finals. Expansion franchise this year with Golden State. Next year, Portland and Toronto come along. How about the player movement this past offseason? Some big names moving to new destinations across the board. And you know what? A lot of new coaches in this league as well. You take a look at how much movement there was, including Stephanie White going to the Indiana Fever. She previously coached one of our colleagues at ESPN, one of the bright basketball minds in our league. And the Fever will not pick till the second round, but we'll obviously be seeing plenty of them this season. Stephanie White at the helm, Caitlin Clark back after being first-team All-WNBA as a rookie. A lot of off-season movement as well, Rebecca. I mean, just how high could this team climb in Caitlin's second season?
I think this is an Indiana Fever team because of the movements that they made in free agency that is a championship contender this year. And that's what we've kind of seen over the course of the last few years, is that teams that are looking for that one extra piece to help them be a championship contender get them in free agency. And then the teams that are rebuilding, resetting, are doing it here through the draft. But certainly the Indiana Fever, to me, have all the necessary pieces now around Caitlin, around Kelsey Mitchell to contend for a championship.
It's such an incredible job by Indiana in free agency at putting pieces around Caitlin that are going to fit so well with her incredible game. To me, you think about this team, this will be their first season together as a team, but they will be tested throughout the season. And when I say tested, I mean not in teams' homes, arenas, but Indiana's going to be playing in bigger venues in different cities on the road. The way that they are going to be in hostile environments with incredibly huge crowds is going to test this season before they even get to the playoffs.
The question is, will the environments be hostile or will they actually be friendly when they move to those bigger arenas?
But you think about it, you had that core of Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark. You add to it with those free agent acquisitions.
Yep.
Really interesting team. Meanwhile, another team that has not drafted yet tonight, the LA Sparks. They picked number 9 overall here now on the clock. They had a very interesting offseason, adding Kelsey Plum to a core of De'Arica Hamby, Rakia Jackson, Cameron Brink, Lynn Roberts, who played a really interesting space and pace style in Utah, coming to the pro game. This is a team that I think is going to be fascinating to watch and feels like, you know, they're close to breaking through here as a perennial playoff team, and then you see how they take it from there.
Yeah, and they're led by 2 players that we saw on the left of that graphic that have broken through. Kelsey Plum and De'Arica Hamby have won a championship together. They won in Las Vegas. They know what it takes. De'Arica Hamby here in the building with her beautiful daughter, Amaya. They know what it takes, and they play so well together. So when I think of those two setting the tone and creating the pace together for everyone else on the Sparks to follow, I think that's huge for this team.
All right, another question is, how about Cameron Brink? Her status for this season after last year's torn ACL. Let's check in with Holly Rowe for a little more on that.
Well, Cameron Brink was on this stage last year getting drafted, and in her small amount of work that she was able to put in the WNBA, she proved that she could be a force. Checking in with her and her people today, she said she's doing really well in rehab. She is so blessed to be working with some of the best in the business. Susan Borchard and Curtis Borchard of the Athlete Blueprint are helping her with her rehab. Sources close to the Sparks have told me that she is likely to return around June before the All-Star break. So Cameron Brink, one of those bright young stars, looks to be back on the court fairly soon for the LA Sparks.
All right, who will be the newest teammate of Cameron Brink? The Sparks pick is in, number 9 overall in this year's draft. Back to the podium to Kathy Engelbert.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Los Angeles Sparks select Sarah Ashley Barker, University of Alabama.
So Sarah Ashley Barker spent her first 2 collegiate seasons at Georgia, transferred to Alabama, first team All-SEC each of her final 2 seasons, and is now headed to a really interesting LA Sparks team.
And this is a Sparks team that was looking for depth at the wing spot, and especially a player who has length and size, and they get that with Sarah Ashley Barker. She had a career high this past season, just over 18 points a game, a very good 3-point shooter, 38% on the season. She was described to me as a bulldog with her ability to get to the rim. She can go right and left. She's a good off-ball cutter as well, uses her strength and size beautifully in terms of absorbing contact and getting to the line.
And you talk about her defensive presence, held opponents to 23% shooting from the field as the primary defender. That's top 5 from any player in D1 this past season. We talk about these players being 2-way presences on the floor. That is Sarah Ashley Barker. She's such a workhorse, and she is relentless but also fun to be around.
She reminds me a little bit of Sophie Cunningham, and we've seen what she's been able to do in her time in the WNBA.
Well, good comp. That certainly would bode well. Sarah Ashley Barker is with Holly Rowe.
Well, I wanted to remind everyone who's watching, yes, you are that young woman who had to hit those 3 free throws to get to overtime. You dropped 45 points in a double overtime game. You are made of some steel inside. Where does that come from?
My mom. I mean, she is just my hero, my best friend. I'm getting emotional just because she's just the most amazing woman ever. And I love you so much, Mom.
Okay, Mom must be tough, because we also know how tough Dad is. He won a national championship as a quarterback at Alabama. Your family has helped you in a lot of different ways. What's the most impactful way they've helped you to become a top 10 WNBA draft pick?
I've got 3 brothers, and so I grew up playing basketball in the driveway with them. My twin brother takes credit for all of my basketball success. I'll give it to you, Harrison. But I just have family that supports me and loves me so much, and I could not do it without them.
He's a quarterback, right?
That's right.
All right, shout out Harrison, twins, all right. Well, congratulations, LA will be a great spot for you. Congrats.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Holly. Now, the Las Vegas Aces first-round pick was rescinded by the WNBA following a 2023 investigation into the team's violation of league rules regarding impermissible player benefits and workplace policies. So Chicago is now on the clock at 10. Let's take a look. 126 games, then 18 and 23. Last year, 13. But, of course, feel good about the future with Angel Reese, who set a WNBA record last season. Not a rookie record, a league record, averaging 13.1 rebounds per game. You know, Camila Cardoso, part of that young core for Chicago as well. How about the Sky here at number 10?
You would think the Sky would be looking to add some more floor spacing and shooting. And this was a Sky team that a year ago that made less than 5 threes per game. And the greatest gift you can give your post players, Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese, is to surround them by shooters and to give them some of that floor spacing. And they did that some in free agency. They got Kay Nurse, they got Becca Allen, 2 players who can help spread the floor. They bring in Courtney Vandersloot and Ariel Atkins as well. But you would think they continue to look for some floor spacing, particularly from the guard spot or a stretch 4.
And when I think about whoever Chicago gets in this draft, the one thing I can guarantee is that they're going to continue to get better throughout their pro career because of their head coach, Tyler Marsh. Tyler Marsh has been known throughout his coaching career as an excellent player development coach. The way he grows and expands the games of his players, he's coached alongside the best, and that's what he does as a head coach.
Saw him do that in Vegas, now a head coach in Chicago. Time to find out who his first rookie to develop will be. Back to the podium and the commissioner with the 10th pick.
With the 10th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Chicago Sky select Aisha Sivka from Slovenia.
Well, we've seen some serious international talent in this draft. Now the 3rd player from overseas to go off the board through these first 10 picks with Aisha Sivka.
I mean, this is a really intriguing young player. She's 6'3" and long. She can play in the pick and pop. She has a really quick release on her 3-point shot, catch and shoot type player. You look at her and wonder, can she be the next Leonie Phoebish, where she has the length to be able to defend on the perimeter, the skill set on the offensive end, and certainly the size at 6'3".
When we talked about floor spacing, just look at how quickly she gets the ball out of her hands. She can shoot off the dribble. Her on the outside, on the perimeter, gives the spacing needed for Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso. She can pass the ball, she can feed the post, and it's the shot ability in her game will also expand in Chicago.
Well, Aisha is now with Holly.
Well, you've come from Slovenia. You're known as a great shooter, but you have a favorite WNBA player. Who do you compare yourself to sometimes?
I love to watch Leonie Phoebe. I think a lot of people compare me to her. And I think my idol is also Breanna Stewart.
You know, you have such a similar game. You're such a great shooter, but I see your dad. He was a good player, too. He's down here taking pictures on his phone. How special is it for your dad, who helped you become a player as a little girl, be here to watch this tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I started playing because of him. He was always my idol, so it really means a lot to me that he's here. So, yeah, I'm just grateful.
Thank you so much.
I mean, there's just nothing better on this night than seeing the emotions and the celebrations from the family members of these young women as their dreams come true. Gino Auriemma has helped steward a lot of those dreams through the years. A 12-time national champion, his player Paige Bueckers went #1 overall. Gino joins the set next. It's an even dozen for Gino Auriemma and Connecticut. The final page in the book of Bueckers is title number 12 for UConn. Oh, Gino Auriemma, a big hug for his star. He spent 5 years with Paige Bueckers in those final moments of a 12th national championship. The most titles, the most wins in NCAA basketball history, men's or women's, and Gino Auriemma joins the set now here on draft night. Coach, first of all, congratulations on another championship.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You've talked about how unique the journey is for Paige. You've been through a lot of these nights with your players throughout the years.
Yeah.
What kind of things are you thinking about and feeling watching Paige tonight as she's picked #1 overall?
A lot of times it goes pretty smoothly. You know, you go in as a freshman, you play a little bit, or you play a lot, you have success, or you don't, and you keep building on it every year, somewhat uninterrupted. I think there may have been a time during Paige's sophomore and junior year, maybe, where I wouldn't have questioned her if you start thinking, is this going to be my career?
Yeah.
Is this going to define my career? How many games I didn't play in? How many games I didn't win, how many Final Fours I didn't make, or how many national championships I didn't win. And that's a lot, you know, when somebody's anointed you as the, you know, next great player at UConn. So for it to end the way it ended, it's almost like prophetic.
If Chris Koklanis, the coach of the Dallas Wings, calls you and says, what's the best piece of advice you can give me as I now embark on coaching Paige Bueckers, what would your advice be?
Pretend that everything's okay. Be ready for her to challenge you, and you should challenge her. She's going to be a risk taker, and you're going to have to live with some of the risks because most times they actually pay off. And that at the end of the day, just keep in mind, she wants to win as much as you do, and she'll spend more time in the gym than you do. So it's a home run for both of them.
Another thing that Coach Koklanis can bank on is Paige to give credit to her teammates. She did it at the desk with us after the national championship. She advocated for 2 of her teammates to get drafted tonight. How would you describe her commitment to uplifting her team?
She's been like that with everyone, really. She's one of those kids that gets a lot given to her, and she's earned all of it. But everything that she gets, there's not one thing that she gets that she doesn't share it with her teammates, with the support staff. She's got this party tonight. There's like, I don't know, 15 managers and practice players all invited to the party. She's just one of those kids that's more giving. She gets a lot, but she gives a lot back.
All right, Coach, how about 4 championships, 4 different decades, 12 championships in 4 different decades now with winning this year. Sound pretty good?
Sounds like a old guy. You know, somebody should say he should have the good sense to like call it a day. You know, like, this is about as good as it's going to get, I guess. Yeah, you know, when you're at a place like UConn and you're able to get the players that we get, it's hard to walk away. It really, really is. I mean, it's just a special place, and it means so much. You saw the parade yesterday. It means so much to so many people. I don't think they need me that much around there anymore. But I think I need them more than they need me right about now.
Beautiful answer, Coach. Congratulations on another championship and having one of your favorites go #1 tonight.
Yeah, it was great for her, great for her family, and great for her teammates. So it's a great night.
All right, thank you to Gino Auriemma joining us here as we take a look at Chicago and Minnesota making a trade, which puts Chicago back on the clock. So Minnesota now will have Chicago's pick next year as they extinguish a pick swap and instead just have Chicago's first-round pick cleanly in 2026. What that means is Chicago gets to pick where Minnesota would have at number 11 overall. Who do they add to their stable? We send things back to the commissioner for that answer.
With the 11th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Chicago Sky select Haley Van Lith, Texas Christian University.
You see a huge hug from Haley Van Lith with mom and dad, regular fixtures during her games throughout her collegiate career. Her boyfriend, NBA star Jalen Suggs, in the building, and Haley Van Lith, a first-round pick after just a terrific season at TCU, taking 3 different schools to the Elite Eight throughout her collegiate career, and now headed to the Chicago Sky.
And I really love this pick for the Chicago Sky. They traded and brought in the veteran point guard and Courtney Vandersloot, got her in free agency. And this is a perfect opportunity now for Haley Van Lith as a young point guard, ready and eager to learn, to be able to do it from one of the best.
And she is going to be playing alongside someone she shared the court with in Angel Reese. Those two played together at LSU. There's a connection there. There's a synergy there. And the competitive edge of Haley Van Lith will be so fun to watch at the next level. She is someone that loves this game so much. She's committed so much to it. And the transfer to TCU and making that move and almost finding herself again, it was fun for us to watch. Now we get to watch her at the next level.
The Big 12 Player of the Year, the newcomer of the year in the Big 12, and an All-American now headed to the Chicago Sky. Haley Van Lith is with Holly.
So when you were a kid, your dad would rent out the elementary school across the street so you could work out at 4 a.m. Everyone always says your work ethic is like no one else's. How do you say thank you to your family for pushing you and helping you to get here and be a top draft pick?
Yeah, I think the biggest way I can say thank you is continue to pursue my dreams. A lot of the reason why I keep going is because I look back at them and they just have poured so much into me that I want to take this dream as far as I can. So shout out to my blue-collar parents who busted their butt every morning and provided for our family because they built the foundation of my game.
You didn't have to reinvent yourself this year. You had to prove to yourself how good you still were. How did you do that?
Through faith. 100%. God carried me through the lows of my life when I wasn't able to get up and walk. So my faith has meant everything, but also learning that it's okay to embrace who you are and walk in that energy has meant everything this year for me.
Okay, good energy with Courtney Vandersloot. You can learn from her. You're paired back with Angel Reese. There's some good energy you can walk into in Chicago, right?
Oh, I love that energy. We're ready.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Haley, who is headed to the Chicago Sky. Meanwhile, the New York Liberty do not have a pick, but you know what they do have? A championship after that thrilling 5-game series with Minnesota that came down to the final seconds. Niara Sabali never going to buy a drink in this city again. Just a remarkable finals, an incredible, unforgettable series. And then New York adds a significant piece, Drea, this offseason off that title as well with Natasha Cloud.
Natasha Cloud brings a level of speed, intensity, energy, and a perimeter defensive presence that New York didn't have. And what's scary to think about is New York won the title Without all of those things, they are even more dangerous with the veteran point guard who can find her teammates. And look at the teammates she's going to be passing to night in and night out. This is an even more dangerous Liberty team.
A New York Liberty team that returns all 5 of its starters from the playoffs and their championship run a season ago. Certainly, to me, they are the championship favorite going into this season.
All right, so the Liberty won't be picking, but the Dallas Wings will round out our first round now. They took Paige Bueckers, number 1. Who do they take? Number 12. The final pick of the first round is in. And for that selection, we get things back over to the podium, to the commissioner of the WNBA with the 12th pick. Here's Kathy Engelberg.
With the 12th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Isaiah James, NC State.
Oh, you love the family handshake there with Isaiah, who this is a player who over the last couple of years, how many times were we all at an NC State game watching Westmore's team where Isaiah James would deliver a huge performance against some of the best teams in the country?
She can go on an absolute heater. We have seen Isaiah James be unstoppable with the ball in her hand. She is a lefty. She can get into her shot. She can get to the rim. She can knock down threes off the catch and off the dribble. When you talk about a Dallas team strengthening its pieces, we've talked about Paige Bueckers, we've talked about Arike Ogunbowale. This is a player that fits right into that mold with her ability to score.
Here's a question for you, Drea. If you have Isaiah James on the floor with Arike Ogunbowale and Paige Bueckers and you're the opponent, who do you put your best guard defender on?
Exactly.
You might just have to say good luck. This young woman can just go get a bucket. The lefty can step out to 3. She has a great mid-range, can drive it inside as well. I mean, plays efficiently. She's unselfish. She can just go get buckets whenever she wants to. And again, the spacing that they'll have on the floor because of the other pieces that she could be alongside, watch out.
So Dallas bookends the first round with Paige Bueckers and Isaiah James. And you know what? They're pumped up at the watch party. Yeah, in Arlington, they're celebrating the addition of Isaiah James. And Isaiah is with Holly.
Well, Isaiah, you told me earlier one of the things that you were the most proud of is how far you've come. This wasn't always a promise to be a first-round draft pick. What are you the most proud of on your journey?
Like you said, my upcoming. You know, my first 2 years, not many people knew my name. You know, I worked hard, I grinded that summer, and, you know, my junior year, I came out the gate busting people's tails, and, you know, it got me where I came, so yes.
Coach Westmore would talk about you had to be patient to get your turn. When you got it and developed those skills, how did you make the most of that opportunity?
You know, I'm so grateful for Coach Moore. You know, people don't want to sit on the bench, but I feel like that was a humbling moment for me. You know, I was a sponge, and I learned from my vets, and I stayed quiet and waited for my turn. You know, when my number was called, I was ready.
The game is loud now, which is a good thing. I know your mom is here, your brother's here, but you wanted to remember someone special to you tonight. Tell me about AJ.
Yes, in 2020, my brother passed away. He might not be here today, but he's sitting at that table right now, and I'm so glad to see him right now.
All right, special shout out to him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, beautiful tribute from Isaiah James, who is the final pick of the first round. Taking a look at our tote board, the 12 selections of this year's first round are officially in. Plenty of talent, plenty of opportunity across the WNBA. The emotions flowing tonight, and still plenty more to come from the Shed at Hudson Yards. Second round action is coming up next. Well, we welcome you to the second round of the WNBA Draft 2025, presented by State Farm. Here at the Shed at Hudson Yards, the tweets are flowing. Dejanay Carrington welcoming Her new teammate, Paige Bueckers, who's the #1 overall pick. Arike Agumbawale, who's been anticipating this, doing the same. FC Dallas ready to welcome a new star in a different sport to their city. And Alyssa Smith also saying welcome to the Wings to Paige Bueckers. Ryan Rucco, Rebecca Lobo, Andrea Carter with you as we get ready to start the second round, and about to see Las Vegas make its first pick of the night. The Aces, such an interesting team because they bring back much of that championship core with a wrinkle. Kelsey Plum now in LA. Bring in Jewel Lloyd this year to a team that also has the 3-time and reigning MVP, A'ja Wilson.
Yeah, this team could look different. Jewel Lloyd and Kelsey Plum are two different players. They can both score. They're both dynamic guards, but their games are very different. I did an event with Jewel Lloyd in Tampa during the Final Four, and Jewel said, walking into the Aces facility, training alongside A'ja Wilson, she told me, I already feel like a better player. It's an inspiring environment for Jewel Lloyd. It will be that same thing for whatever rookie is selected next to go to Vegas.
Drea, you and I could walk into a building, and if A'ja Wilson's on the court, you and I are better players immediately as well. I mean, think about the remarkable year she had a season ago, leading the league in scoring. It's the first time in a couple of decades that we have had a unanimous MVP. You would expect A'ja Wilson to have a similar season this year as well.
And we saw the way Chelsea Gray looked in Unrivaled. Watch out as she returns to that MVP caliber form. Let's find out who's Vegas is picking. Here's Kathy Engelbert with the selection.
With the 13th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Las Vegas Aces select Aaliyah Nye from the University of Alabama.
Well, you love when this happens. Aaliyah Nye in the crowd today, supporting her teammate, and she gets selected with the first pick of the second round and goes to a team with a chance to win it. It's just like Vegas picking Kate Martin a season ago.
They've got something for choosing the players that are in the crowd, and maybe a player that people aren't expecting them to pick. But Aaliyah Nye, let me tell you, she is a special player, a true talent. When you talk about someone that shoots 45% from the field, but 46% from beyond the arc. She made multiple threes per game this season. She can stretch the floor. She can run in transition. She sprints to the corner. Her ability to knock down shots adds another element to this Las Vegas Aces team. Broke records at Alabama for three-point shooting, and a little night-night to go with it.
And she brings good size at the 3-4 position, and that's one of the things that Becky Hammon was looking for, was a 3-4 swing who could potentially play 4 in their small ball lineup and extend the defense.
And Aaliyah is with Holly Rowe.
Well, Aaliyah, you didn't just come to support your teammate. You thought that there was a good chance you'd get drafted. You've come prepared with the outfit. Why did you believe so much in yourself in this moment?
I just have a support system. My mom, dad, sisters, coaches, they've all believed in me, and they've given me the confidence, so I just give thanks to them.
Going to an organization like Las Vegas that has, double 2-time champions, all of the great players that you can surround yourself with, what are you the most excited about?
I'm just ready to learn from all the vets there and just work hard and, just learn.
All right, you understood the assignment, not only in the crowd, getting drafted tonight too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations to Aaliyah Nye, headed to the Las Vegas Aces. Here are some of the best available prospects that are still to be drafted tonight as we start this second round with Aaliyah Nye, the first pick of the second round, and headed to Las Vegas. The Dallas Wings are back on the clock. 2 selections already tonight, beginning with Paige Bueckers, #1 overall, Isaiah James, #12. How about a little update on what's going on in the Big D? Here is Holly Rowe.
Well, the eyes of Texas are upon Dallas right now. The city of Dallas has really invested in the Wings organization, giving them an incentive to come back downtown and bring the Wings, what they're saying, back home. They are going to revamp the Convention Center, Reunion Arena. They are going to put up a 65,000 square foot practice facility. So Dallas, really big improvements as they continue to invest in that team. They're a couple of years away, though, so as Paige Bueckers and all of the eyes that she will bring on Dallas, they are continuing to make upgrades. They have already moved one game to American Airlines Arena and are continuing to make other improvements. Kurt Miller is there. Chris Koklanis, they are doing things right in Dallas, and very exciting time to be a part of the Wings organization as they upgrade what they've got going on in Texas.
All right, Holly, thank you very much. Let's find out who's going to be their latest draftee. The 14th pick is in. Back to the podium to the commissioner.
With the 14th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Madison Scott, Ole Miss.
Well, Madison Scott headed to Dallas, their third selection of the evening in these first 14 picks. And she will join Isaiah James and Paige Bueckers with the Wings.
Kurt Miller told me that one of the things they were looking for in this draft was wing depth. And he said draftees will want to hear their name called at 12 and 14 because Dallas has space on their roster. And Madison Scott, a 6'2" player with 6'5" wingspan, brings a great amount of versatility. She can guard 1 through 5 at times. She can play the 2, 3, or 4. So good getting to her spot in the mid-range. Needs to expand her game a little bit more to the three-point line, but very good at what she can do. A hard worker, a very coachable young woman as well.
She's an absolute dog on the defensive end. My mind is already going to watching her and Dejanay Carrington get excited on the defensive end of the floor and fuel each other on that end of the floor. She's got incredible length. She can put the ball on the floor, attack the rim, finish on the inside. Rebecca, you mentioned her mid-range game there. High release, which is going to be incredibly useful at the professional level. And she's a worker. When you talk about expanding her game, that's something Madison Scott will work to do. But Dallas got a good one.
The first pick, the 12th pick, and the 14th pick for the Dallas Wings. Madison Scott is headed to Texas, and right now she chats with Holly.
Well, Madison, you just had a hug with your family members at the table that was just choking me up. There's a lot of love in your family. But tell me, what is your why? You wanted to talk about what has motivated you to be standing here tonight.
Those people right there, my circle, my siblings, London, Summer, Zion. I hope I'm showing them that they can do anything they put their mind to. So, yeah, I just want to show them the right way to do things.
You have done that. Coach Yolette says that you are Ole Miss basketball, the love that community has for you. You've already started your own foundation. What can the Dallas fans look forward to that you are going to pour into that community as well?
Just me continuing to do that work. I know that God brought me here to give back. I know I wouldn't be here without others giving back to me. So it doesn't matter that the platform changed. I'm going to continue to do what God brought me here to do and give back and just be the best that I can be.
Okay, you did beat Baylor with a game-winning shot to get to the Sweet 16 this year. They're going to forgive you. You are going to love this young woman. I promise you. You are going to bring a lot to Dallas. Thank you so much. So much love to you.
Thank you.
Oh, congratulations to Madison. Hey, experience the historic and record-breaking women's college basketball season through the lens of superstars Flau'jae Johnson, Hannah Hidalgo, and Kiki Iriafen. Tune into this highly anticipated ESPN original series, Full Court Press, presented by Lilly, premiering Saturday, May 3rd, exclusively on ESPN and streaming on ESPN+. Well, the Minnesota Lynx up next at pick number 15. What a season it was for Cheryl Reeve's squad. 30-10, picking up 11 wins from the season before. Won the Commissioner's Cup, led by Nafisa Collier. One of the favorites for MVP heading into this season was the Defensive Player of the Year a season ago. And the Lynx coming seconds away from winning what would have been a record 5th championship for that franchise. This is a team that, you look at this group, there was a harmony, there was a connectivity in the way the Lynx played that we saw carry them to the brink of a championship.
This is a team that had such incredible chemistry, and other teams made flashier moves in that free agency leading up to last season. But Cheryl Reeve was able to find the exact right pieces that she needed to get her team right to the brink of a championship. So you would expect with this piece, they do not need a lot, but to bring in someone who is going to be a great chemistry piece from day one of training camp.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I mean, does Minnesota go with someone that could come in at the point guard position? They kind of play that position by committee, or do they go with someone that can come off the bench and provide scoring? When you think about not having Maisha Hines-Allen or Chechi Zandalusini, who they lost, so there are a lot of options here for this Minnesota team in this draft.
Well, you mentioned international. The 15th pick is in. With the 15th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Minnesota Lynx select Anastasia Olari-Kosu from Russia. So, like you thought Minnesota might do, they go international here with Anastasia Olari-Kosu. Really brave of me to say that name twice. Meanwhile, Rebecca, we will move right along to the 16th pick of this year's draft, and the Chicago Sky back on the clock here. We've seen them be active this evening already. They picked 10th. They picked 11th. Drea talked about Tyler Marsh's ability to develop players. They get a chance to develop another. And with the 16th pick, the Chicago Sky selecting Maddie Westfeld from the University of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So Maddie Westfeld, who battled back from injury, a big who has a lot of touch and a lot of skill.
I talked to Tyler Marsh about things he wanted in this draft: athletic playmaking, shot creation, a stretch big. Maddie Westfeld's ability to shoot the basketball. She also brings this level of poise, this calm confidence, and her willingness to do whatever is asked of her and whatever is needed. The pieces are fitting really well for Chicago.
And we've talked all night long when it comes to Chicago about providing space for their bigs inside, and you nailed it, Drea. Maddie Westfeld is a terrific stretch four who can facilitate, career 35% shooter from the three-point line, brings certainly a need that Chicago has.
Plenty more to come here from the shed at Hudson Yards. Some of the images of the evening. A lively atmosphere, both at the venue and across the country. ESPN Fantasy Women's Basketball is back. Sign up now and build your roster with current and future stars. Go to ESPN.com/fantasy women's basketball or the ESPN Fantasy app to get started. How about that 360 cam? All of the draftees tonight looking so stylish on the orange carpet, and with that 360 cam, as we see all of them showing off their outstanding looks this evening.
Ryan, you didn't want to get on the 360 cam.
You know what? I did, and they just, they shuffle us around.
Yeah,
here,
got it.
don't they, Dre? I think that's why I didn't. Meanwhile, we look at what's transpired thus far tonight. A lot of players going to places where they'll have an opportunity to play, right, Dre? You mentioned it off the top. We had 4 teams who had 9 of the first 12 picks. Those 4 teams, places where you would presume they're going to have those draftees get a real opportunity to play. Another one of those places, Golden State. Golden State, we've seen draft already tonight. They are back on the clock with pick 17. An expansion franchise. Anybody who you guys are looking at in particular that might make sense for the Valkyries here at 17?
Cheyenne Sellers is a player who possibly could. J.J. Quinterly as well, and Serena Sundell. I mean, we talk about this year after year. Players, especially in the second round, should not worry about the number where they get picked.
Yes.
It's about the fit and their ability to potentially make the roster.
Yep.
All right, we're going to find out now who the 17th pick of the draft is. Let's send things back to the podium to the commissioner, Kathy Engelberg.
With the 17th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Golden State Valkyries select Cheyenne Sellers, University of Maryland.
You see the emotion from Cheyenne Sellers, a 3-time first-team All-Big Ten player who is the only player in Maryland history with 1,500 points, 500 rebounds, and 500 assists in her career. giving a big hug to her head coach, Brenda Freeze, and headed to an enticing situation in Golden State.
Yeah, Cheyenne Sellers certainly brings all of the measurables. She averaged 14 points, 4 assists a game last year at Maryland. This is a 6'2" guard who played lead guard for Maryland, shot 41% from 3 on the season, brings nice length. She was dealing with a knee injury the latter part of the year, but I heard her name quite a bit as a potential first-round draft pick. This young woman can flat out score, terrific shooter, and she's proven that she can facilitate as well.
And she's just got great size. The way that she plays, the way that she uses her body, even here, she's got a strong frame, great length. To me, what I like about Cheyenne Sellers is the way her game developed and evolved from her freshman year to her last year at Maryland. She has shown she works on her game, puts the time in, which she can do at Golden State.
Well, Cheyenne is standing by with Holly Rowe.
A lot of emotion. Sometimes waiting is hard. What's it like when you hear your name called finally?
Just a sense of relief and a sense of gratitude. It's special to be here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity.
You give a big hug to your mom. You've got a special tattoo on your arm. I want to get it right. Living strong, fighting long. What has your mother meant to you? I know that you wanted to say something special to her tonight.
I mean, she's my heart and soul. I mean, genuinely, just a fighter. You know, with MS, she shows how important it is to battle. I mean, you can either feel sorry for yourself or rise to the occasion.
She's helped teach you to be a strong young lady. You told me earlier this year you are a matchup nightmare. Rebecca Lobo was just detailing how great you can be, a big guard in the WNBA, and now you'll get a chance with a franchise that's just getting started. How can you go in and make a name for yourself quickly?
I mean, just be me, soak it up. Obviously, I'm excited to play with Chloe B. It's just super amazing.
All right, this is the second best thing that happened to her this week. You also got engaged, so shout out on the biggest week of your life.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Show off that ring. Okay, nicely done, Cheyenne. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Dream finally on the clock here. Interesting team when you look at what they've gone through. A lot of changes last season, swept in the first round by New York. 4 of their top 6 leading scorers ended up missing serious time. They have a new head coach. They also have a lot of new talent, including a couple of very talented, accomplished bigs in Brittany Griner and Bree Jones. I mean, how about just what we can expect from the Atlanta Dream this season with some interesting reinforcements from this offseason?
The Atlanta Dream is the team I'm most interested to watch this year because I don't know exactly what to expect. You know, they returned that backcourt. They did deal with some injuries a season ago, but returned their backcourt, which is a strong area for them. And then in free agency, bring in both Brittany Griner and Brianna Jones. And it's just going to be interesting to see how all those pieces fit. We saw the success Carl Smesko had at Florida Gulf Coast, playing kind of a 5-out, taking a lot of threes style. How are all those pieces going to come together? I'm really eager to see what that looks like when the season starts.
Yeah, in 6 of the last seasons that Smesko was at FGCU, they were ranked top 2 in D1 in 3-point field goals made per game. That is not what we've seen from Atlanta. Atlanta last season was at the bottom of the league in 3-point field goal percentage and 3-point field goal makes. Like you said, they had some injuries. Jordan Canada being back should certainly help move the ball a little bit. But yes, how do you create space around the bigs on the inside? 3-point shooting.
Maybe we see BG and Brianna Jones taking a lot of threes this year. That is worth tuning in for.
BG3 has a nice ring to it. We'll see who's headed to Atlanta. Here is the commissioner.
With the 18th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Atlanta Dream select Tahina Palpal from the University of South Carolina.
You see the reaction from Tahina, not here tonight in Oceanside, California because of a family health matter, but surrounded by loved ones and able to celebrate. We saw our head coach, Dawn Staley, celebrating this moment. What a career for Tahina Palpal.
And if we're going to talk about three-point shooting, we might as well talk about the young woman who led the nation in three-point percentage 2 years ago when she shot 47% from the three-point line. She's really expanded her game this year, gotten inside, taken floaters, able to hit in the mid-range. Dawn Staley would talk a lot about the fact that her team could exhale when Te-Hina Paopao got going on the offensive end of the floor, was able to do some really nice things for the Gamecocks the past 2 years.
Well, Te-Hina Paopao has an incredible support system thanks to her family that's been there every step of the way. And now time for tonight's assist, brought to you by State Farm.
Philly to South Carolina to the All-Valley was cracking.
They're very big, as in stature and as members, so I'm sure they know who the Paopao families are.
They have anywhere from 10 to 20 people or more at each and every one of her games, not home games. Everywhere we go, it's a multitude of people that's been supporting her.
What makes Polynesians and Samoans so unique is the togetherness. We're taught from a young age that family is important and that we just have to be genuine and support each other and love each other. It's very important in our culture, as well as in my family, to have sports be part of who we are. They teach you who you want to become as a person.
Paopao was born into a family known for football. At the age of 7, she hadn't yet found her sport, but her dad began including Paopao in her brother Israel's 4 a.m. workouts, teaching her the discipline that brought success to other members of the family.
My dad would make me run around the track and be able to see what it was like to put in the work at such a young age. It was something that I just always was like, hey, I gotta do what I gotta do to get like where he is. And it's so important to have Paopao on my back. I carry it with great pleasure, great love, great support, great trust, and the only thing I want to do is make them proud, knowing that I'm doing this for them.
So, Te-Hina, you do have a lot of love and support. Over 300 people showed up for your draft watch party in Oceanside, California. Shout out to everybody there who's pouring so much love into you. As you hear your name called tonight, what's the reaction in the room? Share with us that joyful moment, what you're seeing and experiencing there.
Just love, support, excitement, and we're just ready to open my next chapter. And it was just really fun to spend this time with my family, and it's been nothing but joy and excitement.
You are so proud of your Samoan culture, and you have been so vocal about it, and proud of how your family has poured into you. We see you in your traditional dress tonight. What are you so proud of that you can share with us?
Just we're a family unit. I mean, I'm so blessed to be Samoan, and you know, when you think of Samoan, you think of family and unity and togetherness, and that's. And I'm just ready to bring that culture to Atlanta.
Junior Seau is her uncle, Megan Faremo, the great UCLA pitcher, Fale Avul that won a national championship at Oklahoma. The whole family's really good at everything they do. Shout out to everybody, and Te-Hina, we can't wait to watch you play in the WNBA.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, congratulations to Te-Hina Paopao, headed to Atlanta. Meanwhile, the 19th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft is in the Indiana Fever, selecting Michaela Timpson from Florida State University. So the first pick of the night for the Indiana Fever is Michaela Timpson from Florida State.
I know Amber Cox and Lynn Dunn are thrilled that this young woman was still available for the Indiana Fever. They were talking about how she plays exactly the way they want to play. She is 6'2" with a 6'10" wingspan. Ryan, she's a rim runner. What is Caitlin Clark like?
Rim runners.
Rim runners. She's going to throw the ball down to you. She's a rim protector as well. She's quick off the bounce, can get those offensive boards. This young woman has a great chance to stick with the Indiana Fever.
The only player in D1 this past season to average 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks. So you talk about a player that has a motor. You mentioned Caitlin Clark, who plays with such a motor. This is a great fit. And it's not about what you said earlier. It's not about when you get picked. It's about where you get picked and how you fit with that team.
Well, speaking of where you get picked and the fit, the Indiana Fever also have the 20th pick, and with that selection, the Fever take Bree Hall from the University of South Carolina.
Another great move when it comes to fit. What did they just get with Michaela Timpson that we talked about, the defensive energy? What is Bree Hall known for? Her defensive presence at South Carolina. She can also run to the corner and also shoot threes, also space the floor, plays with a motor, has a ton of speed and athleticism. Another great pick for Indiana.
A good culture pick, too.
Yes.
I was so impressed with her leadership that we've seen over the course of her career at South Carolina. And this is a player over the 6 games in the NCAA tournament, shot over 50% from the three-point line, showed that she is certainly a weapon from the perimeter.
All right, the 21st pick is in as well. That one belongs to the Los Angeles Sparks. For that selection, we head back to the podium to the commissioner.
With the 21st pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Los Angeles Sparks select Sanaya Fagan from the University of South Carolina.
Sanaya Fagan exchanging big hugs with her support system, Dawn Staley, and the South Carolina coaching staff here to see the third member of their team go tonight. And Sanaya Fagan, Rebecca, think about how many times this year we talked about just how impressed we were with Sanaya Fagan. Her vocal leadership on the floor, the way she improved, her passing from the post, and now she has a home in the WNBA.
Ryan, you and I did a lot of South Carolina games this year, and every time we watched this young woman play, we would look at one another and say, she looks like a pro. And part of that is her size, of course. 6'3", has good length, but all of those other things, yes, she can score inside. She's a terrific high-low passer. She's great passing to the other big on the interior. She has range out to 17 feet. She does the other things. And when you watch South Carolina's practice, the one voice in terms of player voice that you would hear more than any other was Sanaya Fagan.
And such a strong finish to her season. 11 points per game over the final 11 games at 64%. She's got a lot of momentum going into her professional career.
And she takes that momentum right to this interview with Holly Rowe.
Well, her momentum is on fire. 10 points per game over your last 11 games. You came into your own this season for South Carolina, but you had to trust in the process. You told me that it was important for you to trust. Why?
I mean, the Lord just told me to trust. My mama told me to trust. My support system told me to trust, and I did exactly that.
Coach Staley has been singing your praises all year about what a leader. When we asked who's the most important voice on that team, it was your teammates that said you. How can you bring that piece of yourself to the WNBA and to the LA Sparks?
Well, I mean, I feel like it helps me a lot. I feel like it helps me as a player and as a teammate just to be vocal and to tell my teammates what it is. Yeah.
Your family's here tonight. I know they've meant so much to you. Your mom was a great player herself, right? Tell me what your family means to you here tonight in this beautiful moment.
I mean, my family means a lot to me. I mean, I wouldn't be here where I am now without them. So just them, seeing them there and just supporting me as much as they do, I love it.
All right, we'll see you in LA. What a great job.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Sanaya Fagan, headed to the LA Sparks. Still plenty more to come, including Paige Bueckers, the #1 overall pick, joins the show next on ESPN.
Yeah, so senior year in college, probably winning a national championship my senior year, going out strong, and then preparing for the WNBA draft, hoping to go as the first pick. Is what I would hope for in 5 years.
I'd say that was very Nostradamus-like for Paige Bueckers. How amazing, and the #1 overall pick here in the 2025 draft joins the show right now. And I don't know if you've heard, Paige, but you have some fans in the building here at the Shed at Hudson Yards. You look back at that, and I mean, it's got to be unbelievable to see you say that in 2019 as a young girl going into college. Now here's a young woman to have your dreams come true. What has it felt like to experience this tonight and to hear your name called with that first overall pick?
Yeah, just extremely grateful for the whole journey since that moment where that video was made, the entire 5 years since then. The ups and downs, the everything, the relationships, the experiences, the bonds that I built, it's just been amazing, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. So to be where my feet are tonight, to share this moment with the people that I love, just means everything.
We've seen you at WNBA games. I know you've been a WNBA fan for a long time. What are you most looking forward to on the court, whether it's people you might play with or people you might play against here in your first season?
Yeah, just competing at an extremely high level. You always dream to get to the WNBA, the highest stage of basketball. Playing against my former teammates, Nika, Aaliyah, who are here today. I can't wait. And Liv, and then everybody, honestly. I'm so excited.
You know, Paige, we've talked about your game all season. We all have so much to say about your game. But for the Dallas fans watching, for the W fans watching, how would you describe what you're bringing to the WNBA?
Just a selfless leader, a person who just wants to win, will do whatever it takes to win, and somebody who plays with so much heart and passion and so much love for the game and love sharing that with others. And yeah, just trying to win.
Paige, obviously, you know, there's been anticipation about the moment you just had with Connecticut and winning that championship. What has the afterglow been like? What have these days been like in Connecticut, the culmination of this career, this journey, and experiencing that peak?
Extremely fun, bittersweet. Sometimes I just start crying because like it's over, but just super happy that it even happened and that the whole journey, the relationships, experiences like I've talked about. But it's been a whirlwind. A lot of late nights, early mornings, a lot of traveling back and forth from New York to stores. But, man, extremely grateful and running on great fumes.
Well, Paige, congratulations on a historic collegiate career and now a big night starting your professional life as the #1 overall pick in the 2025 draft.
Thank you, guys.
Paige Bueckers joining the show here, the #1 pick. Meanwhile, we have more picks in this second round. For the Chicago Sky at 22, they take Aisha Coulibaly from Texas A&M. Lucy Olsen from Iowa goes 23 to Washington. Meanwhile, Delia Daniels from Washington goes to Minnesota at 24. And Rhea Marshall, who had so many impressive moments for USC in the NCAA tournament, felt like she just kept peaking and raising that peak through the tournament. She goes 25 to the Connecticut Sun. More picks to come from New York City on draft night.
The WNBA Draft 2025 is presented by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And in part by Nike. Just do it.
Campus and then hit the court to help lead students in a junior MBA and junior WNBA clinic and other wellness programming. Time to get the next pick in this 2025 WNBA draft. The 26th selection is in, and for that, we go back to the podium to the commissioner, the Seattle Storm selection.
With the 26th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Seattle Storm select Serena Sundell, Kansas State University.
Well, you guys talk about not when, but where, and Serena Sundell goes to a place that has quite the history of successful guards in the Seattle Storm.
And a place that needs a combo guard, and that's what Serena Sundell can be. This is a young woman at 6'2", led the nation in assists per game this past season at just under 7.5 assists a game. And her coach, Jeff Mittie, said we could play to her and we could play through her. With her size, she's very good at getting in the post and posting up smaller guards. And where she is truly remarkable is her ability to facilitate when she does get the ball on the block. This is a young woman who has a versatile skill set and certainly brings great size at that point guard position.
9 double-figure assist games this season. She had an NCAA tournament game where she had 19 points and 14 assists on the road, on the big stage. She's got the mid-range game, but her ability, like you said, Rebecca, to find her teammates. We've already talked about this Seattle Storm being one that has really strong pieces, and they add another one here with Serena Sundell.
Two-time first team All Big 12. Career highs in scoring and assists this season, and Serena is with Holly.
Well, Rebecca Lobo just said this. It's not when, but where. And this is a great fit for you with your skill set. Tell me what it's like to hear your name called and know you're going to such a great team.
Yeah, I'm just excited, full of gratitude. excited to be on this big stage and for the opportunity that's about to come.
Your brother had an interesting situation. He's now playing for, I think it's the Seattle Seahawks. So that kind of worked out, right?
I would say so, yes. My parents are thrilled. I'm thrilled. It'll be perfect, yes.
He was undrafted and had to make a team. What have you learned from him about how you can go in and make this roster?
Yeah, I think that's just an incredible story. All you need is one opportunity and go make the most of it.
You just got your opportunity tonight. I can't wait to watch you make the most of it.
Thanks, Holly.
Thank you.
Serena Sundell is headed to the Seattle Storm. Meanwhile, earlier in the first round, Rebecca, we saw Georgia Amore, a player who I think we're very excited to see at the next level. And you're going to break down what she might bring at the professional level after a really historic collegiate career, both at Virginia Tech and then at Kentucky.
Yeah, certainly Georgia Amore, a player we expect to make the roster. Serena Sundell, let's make no mistake, she can make that Seattle Storm roster. They have the room and they have the need for her. So a third-round pick who certainly can make their roster. But yeah, we look at Georgia Amore, the small guard who can simply get her shot off. That's the question. How is she going to be able to get her shot off against bigger defenders? She is so good at drawing defensive attention and navigating with her dribble out of it. That time, 3 defenders came, escape right, and then a little step to the left. That's where she can create so much space when she goes to that left side. Again, what do you do with her? Oftentimes draws multiple defenders. She splits the screen, has a big defender coming to her, still able to loft it up and score inside. Once again, how is she going to manipulate the defense? 37 feet away from the basket, you have to come out on her. She's going to see the driving lanes, get through, find teammates, or again, the ability to score over bigger and longer defenders. And that's going to be a huge key for her in the WNBA as well. And how good is she in the pick and roll? We saw it repeatedly. Once again, the attention she draws head up, she is going to be able to navigate, draw more defense, find open teammate, and deliver them the basketball. And you and I laughed, Ryan, when we talked to Kenny Brooks this year about, Georgia at the next level. And one of the questions was, can she defend? And he said, she can't defend for me because I can't have her getting into foul trouble. But certainly she can defend at the W level.
Now, Drea's going to have a guard breakdown as well. We saw Georgia go number 6 to Washington. Drea has a breakdown for us in a moment. But before that, a few more picks. At 27, Dallas taking J.J. Quinterly out of West Virginia. How about Leah Tu King had such an outstanding season at Notre Dame? She goes 28 to L.A. And Madison Connor, the sharpshooter for TCU, is headed to the Seattle Storm. Drea, I know you have a breakdown of Sonia Citron, the number 3 overall pick tonight, who also landed with Washington.
Well, you heard Georgia Amore say she's always wanted to play with Sonia Citron and Kiki Iriafen. And when we talk about Sonia Citron, her high basketball IQ, the ability to impact the game on both ends of the floor, this is the shot we were all in the building for. Watch Sonia Citron. The one thing I love about her, she's not afraid of physicality. She's so unbothered by physical defenders. And then look here. High contest, hand in her face from another now pro in Isaiah James, and she knocks it down. And someone might think, oh, that's a lucky shot. She heaved it at the end. No, it's not. Sonia Citron has such a great quick release. You see here, she reads the defense, goes off the flare screen, pinch post area, short corner, wide open for her. And look, high contest from 6'7". Her eyes find the rim with that quick release. She knocks it down. High arcing shot. And this is also where she can make an impact at the professional level with her defense. Reads the offense here, knows the pass is coming, intercepts it, takes it to the other end. She has great instincts on both ends of the floor, and she's just a smart basketball player. See here as she gets the ball, comes off the pick and roll. She can operate the ball in her hands, gets right into her shot, off the behind the back. The craftiness, the savviness, and the high basketball IQ is what she is bringing to the next level.
You can close that laptop quickly, partner. Just in time for us to get back to the podium, to the commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, with the 30th pick of the draft and the Golden State Valkyries up with it.
With the 30th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Golden State Valkyries select Caitlin Chen, University of Connecticut.
Well, Paige Bueckers advocated for Caitlin Chen to be drafted earlier in the evening, and she has been to the Golden State Valkyries at 30th overall. Just so impressed with the way Caitlin played down the stretch of that NCAA tournament win.
And one of the things that Coach Oram has said all season long is this is a young woman who is not afraid of the big shot, not afraid of the moment. Remember, she spent 4 years at Princeton. 3 of those she was able to lead that team and be their primary playmaker and shot taker. And then at UConn, she was able to fit in with the superstars that she was surrounded by, play her role, make big shots in big moments.
And that's the thing about Caitlin Chen is she had so many pieces around her. She didn't always have to take over offensively, but we saw big-time performances in the NCAA tournament. Ryan, what immediately comes to mind is the game against USC when she dropped 15 points in 31 minutes. She was needed in that game and able to rise to the occasion for her team.
And what a beautiful moment. You heard the explosion from the crowd here as Caitlin Chen gets picked 30th overall, going to the Golden State Valkyries. Just an outstanding moment here in New York City for Caitlin Chen and for her UConn teammates. Still plenty more picks to come. You know, one other story we are following tonight, Sedona Prince, who has not been drafted yet, was projected in the second round or better. An all-conference center, was a huge contributor to TCU's best season ever. Off the court, has faced assault accusations from 4 women since 2019, has denied those allegations, has not been charged with a crime. Our reporting confirms, though, this is something that teams were looking at, along with her age and her injury history. We will be right back. Well, we are moving towards the end of this special night in New York City at the Shed at Hudson Yards. We have a few more picks that are in right now. At 31, Aaronette Vonleg from Baylor going to Dallas. 32, Zay Green goes to Washington. At 33, Yvonne Ejim from Gonzaga lands with the Fever. Jordan Hobbs of the University of Michigan goes to the Seattle Storm. Harmony Turner of Harvard ends up with the Las Vegas Aces. And Taylor Theory at 36 goes to the Atlanta Dream. 2 more picks still to make. And for number 37, we go back to the commissioner with that selection. Here is Kathy Engelbert one last time at the podium.
With the 37th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Minnesota Lynx select Aubrey Griffin, University of Connecticut.
You see the hugs from the Connecticut teammates. Paige Bueckers getting in there, Leah Edwards. And so Aubrey Griffin becomes the second UConn player in this 3rd round to be selected out of the crowd tonight here to support Paige Bueckers. She advocated for Aubrey and for Caitlin Chen, and now they both get picked. Just how wonderful.
And Aubrey Griffin is an elite-level athlete who has just battled a variety of injuries throughout the course of her career at UConn. But Gino Auriemma would say she could do things on the floor that none of his other players could. She could change the flow of a game in just a few minutes because of her tenacity on the defensive end, her ability to get to the glass, her ability to drive and finish. She's just been plagued by injuries throughout her course of her time at UConn.
And we spoke earlier about the culture that Minnesota has and the chemistry and how they all get along so well. This is a player that is going to fit right into that. Her willingness to do anything that the team needs and the way she connects to her teammates at UConn, that same thing will happen at Minnesota.
All right, so Aubrey Griffin goes 37. We now have the 38th and final pick of the 2025 WNBA draft. And with that selection, the New York Liberty take Aja Khan from France. So Aja Khan is the final pick, and the Liberty selection this evening to round out the 38 women who get selected tonight in this 2025 WNBA draft. And you know what that means? That means the season is about to start. we tip off the WNBA season with a star-studded doubleheader on ABC. 1 Eastern, Asia Wilson and the Aces take on Brianna Stewart and the defending champion Liberty. Then Caitlin Clark and the Fever host Angel Reese in the Sky. Coverage begins with WNBA Countdown at 12:30 Eastern. Let's take a listen in to the first pick of this year's draft. Paige Bueckers mic'd up this evening.
Get on my spot, boy. I'm mic'd up. I'm mic'd up. Do I have to get up and hug you again? No. Look, he's got my favorite color in his suit.
Congrats, man.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We're gonna hold this up real quick. Awesome. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Yeah! Yeah, Ted!
Just awesome to see the evening through the eyes of Paige Bueckers and the reaction to her teammates being drafted tonight. We just showed that promo for the games to come, May 17th, our doubleheader on ABC. Partner, as you look ahead to this season, what are you most looking forward to?
Well, a year ago, we saw player Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA with a lot of expectations. How was her game going to translate? Well, it translated beautifully, and I think we're going to see something very similar with Paige Bueckers this year. I think she's going to come in and be incredibly efficient like the player we saw her be in college, and just have a chance to lead that Dallas Wings team to potentially a place where they're really contending for one of those playoff spots. So I think we're going to have the second year in a row where a rookie in her game is going to translate in a really impressive way.
And I think we'll have the second year in a row where the game continues to grow. You talked about games translating beautifully. The growth was also so beautiful. When we talk about more games, Rivals Week, more WNBA countdown shows, more coverage, more stories, more moments.
That's what it's all about.
Seamless promo. We'll have all of it, all the coverage, the growth of fans. We're going to continue to skyrocket with this league.
Hi, Holly, by the way, on the desk.
Hi, I love it when I get to come to the grown-ups table. I love it. For me, I'm excited to see, can New York repeat? They brought something special to New York. Can they do it again? See how they do. But my other thing I'm really excited about, so if you know the backstory, Paige Bueckers and Caitlin Clark were kind of childhood rivals. They played a lot together and against each other, Iowa, Minnesota. They are going to face off at American Airlines Arena when Indiana goes to Dallas. 20,000 seats. I bet they sell it out, and that is going to be epic. That's my number one thing I'm looking forward to.
So much to look forward to. Such a wonderful evening here at the Shed at Hudson Yards. Special thanks to our producer, Joshua Carswell, director, Ashley Ward. For Holly Rowe, Andrea Carter, Rebecca Lobo, I'm Ryan Rucco. We'll see you May 17th. Coming up next, it's 8 on 8, a Kobe doc. You don't want to miss that.